Hello everybody and welcome to the Dynamite F1 show. Now today is a special day. This is the first show ever to be recorded. We're going to make some predictions, we're going to get some driver interviews from Hungary, but first we're going to watch the highlights. If you want to watch the full race, go to twitch.tv/nothrillswales.
Now for the tricky chicane of turns 6 and 7, he's got a Williams right up the gearbox of him. Oh, as he's binned it, he's completely binned it into the wall. And that is Mikey out of qualifying, and he will be starting from the back of the grid. So the Williams will set the provisional time with a 1:18.0. And now Dylan hugging the inside around the final corner and comes across the line. Sets the fastest lap with a 1:16.5. Ollie Sutton goes P2 and Owen goes P3, all on softs. J2 Howe on the mediums. So the first driver is going to set a time on the mediums. Where can he go? Goes P2 with a 1:17.6. Let's go on board with JC. No, it's not his stunt. He goes P6 on the mediums on 1:18.5. As we've got more and more people. Daguna and the other Mercedes on the mediums. Fastest a 1:17.5. The fastest medium runner currently at the moment, as Dylan goes fastest on the softs. 1:16.5. Drake and the fighter fighting those medium tyres. He goes P7 with a 1:18.1. As the Avatari of Stunt is going for a second lap. Has he improved? Yes, he does improve, but stays P8. And who is that? Just went across the line. That was a Haas of Curtis on the softs, a 1:18 flat for him. Whitboy on the mediums, rounds the final corner. League owner, can he go pole position? He goes P4 on the mediums, a 1:17.8. Kenzie Retro goes P11 on the softs, a 1:18.3. Look at that, Hambo goes P2, fastest medium runner. Second time around gets a 1:16.5. We've got a missing wing of the McLaren. Is he going to be able to peel into the pits? Yes, he is. VJ unit goes P5 on the set of softs. So we've got a mixture of strategies at the moment. Look at that. JC14 sits the fastest lap on the softs, a 1:16.2. Oh, wider gain on the exit of the final corner, goes P7, 1:17.6. A lot of drivers hugging that inside line. Don't take the Lewis Hamilton approach. Comes across the line, 1:19.3. Mercedes starts a new lap, I believe. However, I think that was Jack Tuffy has come across the line with a P4. So he moves up to the second row of the grid. Nug did improve, says P15. That was the Haas P4. Good lap from him, 1:17 flat. Just get early on the throttle, DRS wide open, and he's going to come across the line. And that is P7 on the set of mediums. And look at that, as Ihambo in the background sets a 1:15.4. First driver into the 1:15s. Whitboy jumps up to P3, 1:16.4. On board with Lauren, which we've lost. A McLaren, that's on the exit of turn 13. So he is going to be starting at best P8. Dylan can't improve on his fastest time. However, Whitboy does and stays P3 though. Stunt improves, goes P5, a 1:16.6. Can he improve on a 1:17.6? He's going to come across the line. He does. Look at that. P2, 1:16 flat. Let's go on board with this man. And he's improved even further, 1:15.1. Did improve there, and that was a Mercedes Daguna up to P5. Retro, can he improve on a P15? P15, a 1:18.3. It's going to be mighty close. He does go to P13, 1:17.6.
And there we have it. The order is Ihambo in first, Curtis in second, followed by J2 Howell, JC, Whitboy, Daguna, Dylan, FFG Stunt, Draken, Karting King, Jack Toffee, VJ Unit, Kenzie Retro, Owen Blues, and a few others below, which I wasn't able to capture. So just before we get into the main highlights, I am really sorry. When I did the settings for the race, I forgot to turn on the formation lab. In the future, the formation lab will be on, so don't worry. That was just my error. I've learned something from the exhibition race too. Okay, so now I've said that, let's get into the race.
Oh no, there's no formation lap. Oh my god. Right, here we go. The lights are on and the lights are out, and it's away we go. It looks like the Red Bull got a fantastic start. Let's go on board with the AlphaTauri. And look at the start that Hambo's got going into turn 1. And look at the absolute dive bomb going back to the Williams. And there's contact between the Williams and the Alpha Tauri. That was a dive bomb and a half. And already Daguna up a position off of JC as they go through turn number 2. Let's feed back and have a look as the Ferrari and Stunt, I believe, are battling it out. And we've got a Ferrari off at the back, and that is Dylan. So now start feeding around as we see the pit stop strategy, a soft or hard or a soft, medium, medium. I will bring up the tyre strategies. Oh, is that Owen? I think Owen is gone. Owen has lost it at the chicane. Hopefully that will be okay to... Yeah, he's carried on going. Right, let's have a look at the changes of positions. So already Daguna up 3 positions off the start. Great start, but there was a Williams in the back off the start who got a massive dive bomb down the inside and almost collected. I think it was the Alpha Tauri as Hambo comes across the line and just a fraction over a second gap as J2 in the Alpine thinks of a possible move down the inside. And Drop Dead Lauren is out. Oh, she's retired, I think. As Dylan makes a move. And look at this, we've got some side-by-side action. No, they're not going to surely do this at turn 4. That was extremely close. Ollie Sutton and the Williams are going side-by-side down into turn number 12. And they're still bashing wheels. And Dylan making moves on Kenzie Retro here. He's now back up to P14. Lost 7 positions off the start. Oh, is he going to try one down the inside? We've got a yellow flag, and that's the Haas driver of Mikey who's out of this race. And that's why the virtual safety car. Oh, it's a full course safety car now. Not paying attention. Full course safety car. It is. So we're going to see some more drivers coming into the pits at the end of this lap. So Whitboy going on to hards. Can he do a miracle drive and take those set of hards to the end of the race? It is possible. All drive-through penalty for speeding underneath. That is the McLaren, and Dylan is out. So we've got some more pitters now. So pretty much the top 5 are all coming into the pits. He's going to want to leave it to the last minute. He does not want to give a drag slipstream to any other car. And he is going to bolt right about now. And he has literally just given the position. And now we've got a three-way back. And there's an absolute carnage in the background. Who was that? There's about 2 or 3 cars that are coming together down the pit straight. But let's carry on going because we have got yellow flags. As we see the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes going side by side. And in the background as well, we've got Daguna getting past Kenzie Retro and Fighter as well. That was absolute chaos. Daguna has made his way now past the Alfa Romeo of VJ Unit. Whitboy has made that move for P9 up past the Alfa Romeo as well. Oh, late on the brakes from the Williams. Whether or not he has got any damage to his wing, he's going to possibly try one down into, late on the brakes, down into turn 12. Fantastic overtake from Daguna now. Mercedes now fighting. Is there going to be any? Oh, that's not giving much room down the inside. Daguna now up into P3 as Daguna now gets a 3-second time penalty, and so does Jack. We've got a trail of cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cars all trailing each other along, starting with Ollie Sutton, who's really holding everybody up for his teammate. Oh, he's struggling through turn 11 as well. That's possibly going to give the Alfa Romeo all the invitation to go down the inside at turn 12, and there it is. And there it is, the move is being done. The Red Bull send it down the inside of Owen. Let's go back on board with this now trio, I think. Come on, Whitboy. Use your ERS and your DRS, and I think there it is. Job done. Up into turn 1. He'll also have the benefit of DRS down into turn 2 as well. Oh no, so the McLaren and Owen in blues had an incident, and that has brought out the full course safety car. So it'll be down to Whitboy when he wants to bolt off. Ooh. And I think he's gone. He's gone board with Daguna. So now starting to feed down a long straight, and he's going to pull down to the inside going into turn 1 on those medium tyres, and there's slight banging of the wheels. Always one of the other, I think it's the Avatar who's gone wide. No, it was the other Mercedes as they start feeding down into turns 2 and 3. Oh, what a camera view that is. Look at that. As Nug gets a 3-second time penalty, and the Mercedes of Daguna now right on the back end of Whitboy. He's on those medium tyres, don't forget. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, surely Daguna's not going to send one down the inside. Oh, I think that's a little bit naughty. He's going to go side by side and try and get a better exit. Get that car straightened up early on the throttle. And there it is. ERS deployed. And there it is. I think he's going to get this done before the corner. But look at that. Whitboy challenging him back. And there it is. Daguna in the Mercedes on the medium compound tyres up into the lead of this race. Oh no! Jack is out. He's binned it. And that has brought out yet another safety car. It depends on how much of a gap he can build. I think he's already bolted. Oh no! As a McLaren has lost it. I don't know what the Mercedes is doing. And look already, the Daguna is already at turn 1. As they all start filtering down. Hambo not quite close enough for a move. Oh, look at this little battle on the release. Oh, keep it clean. There's a Williams touches the back of the Alfa Romeo. And look at this, a Red Bull thinking of a move down the inside. Hambo touching wheels, and I think that is job done. He's up into P5 as we see some weaving down into turn 1 as Kenzie Retro tries around the outside. And they're still going to carry on side by side down into turn 2, and that is Kenzie Retro up into P5 now, doing really well on a set of mediums. Look at this behind this trio of cars. Oh no, there's contact. Oh no. Whitboy really wants to be right on the gearbox of here because I think they're bolted. He wants to take the slipstream, and look at this. What is going on? And look at this, we've now got a 3 cars side by side. Oh, there's contact already. There's an absolute monumental crash. Oh my god. And that is actually going to tilt Sam over the edge. I bet his Xbox has just gone out the window. As we stay on board with the Avatar, he's got the Alpine right in behind him. Pulls to the inside. Has he got the grip and the traction to take that corner? And I think that is job done. J2 now up into P4, and look at this, also Kenzie Retro going down the inside of the Mercedes at turn number 2. Not going to quite make the move, but he's still going to stick with him. And but look at this, we've now got 2 cars going side by side, and Kenzie Retro might lose another position round the outside. That's where Lewis Hamilton tried to move. I don't know whether or not he just conceded that position. Oh, look at that, the Alpine's going down the inside of the Mercedes, and there's slight contact. And also the AlphaTauri is getting involved in this. Look at this at the bottom of the screen. The AlphaTauri is going to take the outside, which is going to become the inside for the last corner. Oh, the Mercedes getting a little bit out of shape. I believe it's on these old hard tyres. But J2 up into the in P2. He's got enough laps to possibly challenge for the win. Oh, Zim McLaren's gone onto the grass. And that is pretty much going to gift VJ unit P6. So J2 sets our fastest lap of the race with a 1:18.6. And look at the straight line speed the Mercedes has, and makes the move before turn 1. How many laps are those tyres are going to be falling off the cliff of those mediums, as the Alfa Romeo has, as you can see, made a move past. And look at that, the other Alfa Romeo thinking of a move as the McLaren goes a little bit deep. So now both Alfa Romeos up into P6 and P7. Look at this, we've got the Alfa Romeo thinking of a move down the inside of the Williams. Takes a little bit of the grass, but the Williams is going to fight this back down through turn number 13. And they're still going to go side by side. Is the Alfa Romeo going to be close enough? No, he is not. What great battling that was. Very respectable. Giving his teammate a little bit of a drag. He's going to be late on the brakes. Wow, he's going to overshoot that corner. And that is going to concede that other place to his teammate as well. Two very feisty Alfa Romeos right on his gearbox. Which is the quicker of the Alfa Romeos. And look at the gap between P1 and P2, 3.4 seconds with 4 laps remaining. This is going to be nip and tuck. As we see Fighter going down the inside and taking P5. But look at this, Kenzie Retro. He's not going to have the DRS, but he's going to challenge around the outside and try and switch under for... No, he's not going to be able to do that. Oh, look at this, McLaren's going to challenge the Alfa Romeo down the inside, and that's Invictus Nug. He is up into P7, 2.6 seconds now the separation. And look at that, fighting up into P4, is overtaking the AlphaTauri now, and the McLaren has made a move on the AlphaTauri. So P6 for Nug, and the AlphaTauri is going to think of a move down the inside. Not really much space there. So the Alpine will be thinking, I can make this move. J2 has not got a time penalty, but Daguna does. And he's within 3 seconds minimum. Look at this, we've got a potential overtake, and that's the McLaren. Oh, look, he's going to think of a double overtake, and it's going to be three wide. Oh, side-by-side action, Alfa Romeo and the Williams. Look at that, 1.5 seconds. He wants to overtake this man on the track. Right, so we're on the penultimate lap. 1.4 seconds separates the top two. They are pretty much on the same corner. And look at that, he's almost within the DRS now. Let's stay on board with these two. He's in within the second now. And Justin is going to have just about the DRS for the last lap of this race. Is he going to try something audacious into the last corner? Guys, if you're in the chat, if you can remain in the stream afterwards, because I'm going to do a raid on one of my good friends. Yeah, just shortly after the race has finished. Look at this, 4:10 separate him on the last lap of the race. He's only got 2 sectors left. And providing that Justin doesn't get any time penalties, he's driven a very clean race thus far. The only way to possibly do it is just before turn 12. Not quite close enough. And we've got a retiree as Nug has DNF'd on this final corner. But let's stay on board with Daguna in the Mercedes. He's going to come across the line and take the checkered flag. But they're separated by inches on the track. But he's going to be taken on the line, and there it is. Justin will take the checkered flag and the win here in Hungary for the exhibition race. The Mercedes of Daguna takes P2. The Alfa Romeo is going to come around the final corner after starting P9 on the grid and take the last podium. Draken Fighter, great race from him. Karting King, after starting P10, will take P4. Ollie Sutton will certainly get dropped down. He is going to drop down to P6 from now as a VJ unit takes P5. FFG Stunt comes across the line for 7. And I believe he will finish there. Wow, what a race as VJ unit gets the driver of the day. So there is your final standings. J2 or Justin takes the win here in Hungary from third on the grid. Fastest lap will go to Karting King. He finishes in P4. And there will be your final standings. Quite a few DNFs here. Hopefully they'll be able to iron those out before they go live next week on Tuesday. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in.
A lot of safety cars, a lot of crashes and mistakes, but that's what the exhibition's for. We are going to make up for it. It was a good race though for the people that did finish, and some of the people that didn't finish had a good race too, and they were just caught in an unfortunate spot. Well done to all the drivers though, and thank you for racing. So next up we have 2 driver interviews, and we'll start with JC14. I have used the interviews to get to know the drivers as well, as it's their first interview with us, so but there's going to be a bit about Hungary and also a bit about themselves as well. JC had a pretty solid race. He was battling for P2 and he was about to make a move down the inside of the final corner at Hungary, but just put his foot down on the throttle a little too much and ended up spinning into the pit entry, and ultimately DNFing his car, and he couldn't race anymore. So without further ado, we'll get into the interview. Okay, JC, who's your favourite real-life driver?
My favourite real-life driver is Max Verstappen.
Is there any reason for that?
Well, I'm a Red Bull fan, and I just enjoy watching his aggressive sort of driving style in races.
Is your driving style, are you inspired by him, and do you try and drive like he does on the track?
I mean, I'll try to be a bit safer than he is, but yeah, we need to see.
Well, it definitely works for him, so why not, hey? Might as well give it a go. Okay, so what is your favourite track on the Dynamite calendar?
My favourite track's probably Belgium, yeah. Probably my favourite because of the corners and just the long straights, and especially El Rouge as well. When you hook it up, it's really satisfying.
Right, I wasn't expecting anyone to say Belgium, to be honest. That's
yeah.
That El Rouge is usually people's least favourite corner on the calendar, but yeah, it's good that's your favourite, and maybe that'll be a strong point in the season.
I hope so, yeah.
What is your least favourite track on the calendar?
Least favourite, it's got to be Monaco.
I have a feeling that one's going to crop up a few times, actually. You're the first interview I've done, but I feel like that's going to be the one. I don't think it needs any explanation.
It's just horrible. It's awful.
Yeah, it's a little bit too cornery, too spinny.
Too old-fashioned.
Yeah, there's not much overtaking. It's really frustrating when you're a faster car behind slower cars as well. It's an absolute nightmare. But in a way, if you are one of the slower cars, I think it's a great opportunity for you personally to try and get a result. I think that's why Monaco always has to be on the calendar.
Of course, yeah.
But I probably expect everyone to say Monaco, but you do get those people whose favourite track is actually Monaco. They're kind of weird, but
yeah, nah, definitely a pass for me.
So you were doing pretty well. I think were you in fourth?
Qualified P4, yeah.
And were you in fourth before your incident?
I think I was battling for P2 actually. I was in P3, I think I was, yeah.
Right, so battling for P2, and you made a little move down the inside and just lost control. I believe that's what happened.
Yeah, it's pretty much my fault. I was too aggressive, like Max. Tried to send it down the inside in the last corner, and it wasn't enough room. I just fucking binned it. Definitely
inspired by Max Verstappen then.
Yeah, 100%.
But sometimes you got to make those moves, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I think you did pretty well until then. So are you happy with how Hungary went as a whole, or are you still a bit fuming about how it went?
I mean, I was happy with the qualifying. I'm just a bit unhappy with the race. Looking back, yeah, I could see where I could obviously improve. Just be a bit more patient. Wait for the straight and stuff like that. Better overtaking opportunities.
Yeah,
Um,
completely agree.
yeah,
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think on Hungary we had quite a lot of safety cars and things, and there was a few of the incidents were actually just because people weren't waiting for that straight, and maybe
yeah,
you just got to recognise that there is one place on the track where safe overtaking can happen, and any other place is pretty awful.
yeah,
Hungary was a bit of a
exactly.
weird one for an exhibition, but I was actually very surprised with the amount of racing that there was. I thought it'd be pretty boring, but me and the commentator were both pretty surprised when we saw how many battles were actually happening. So that was good.
Yeah, it was fun when we were racing.
Well, yeah, I DNF'd as well. While we were both on the track, it was fun. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So have you had a chance to think about your individual goals this season?
Well, what I'm aiming to achieve is hopefully get a few podiums, and if it's going well, maybe the first half of the season, then try to get within the top three in the drivers' championship. But I think the first half of the season, I'm just going to try and get a good few results and just see how just take it from there pretty much. And if it's going well, then obviously aim for top three, and obviously then aim for the championship if it's possible.
That's a great stance to have because if you are up in the running, with eight races to go, halfway through the season, you got every chance to get the win. And I think that's
Yeah,
a great way to really look at it, a good mindset, because you want to try and get the results, but you don't want to push too hard that you've fallen behind too much early on in the season because it's a big mountain to climb after that, especially if people ahead of you are quite consistent as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Have you spoke to your teammate, or do you have any ideas of what your goals would be in the constructors? I know you at AlphaTauri, you guys are looking quite strong for that constructors championship. I was just wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah, no, we have had a couple of discussions, sort of thing. I think we can achieve P1 in the constructors. We just need to
Ooh.
see, yeah, just need to sort of scope out the other teams first as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Um,
I agree. I agree. Um, you guys do look pretty strong in that constructors. I think with both of you, from what I've seen when we've done some five lappers or uh, you know in Hungary as well, like it's just a bit of consistency. If you can, we have this little meme, don't we, that you always spin on the last lap of our five
yeah,
lappers, and I
because
think
yeah,
I think if you can just work on bringing it home because you've got pace, you've both got decent pace, but you both seem to make that one error a race or that one mistake which sets you back a little bit. Um,
yeah,
from the outside looking at it, I think if you can just fix that one mistake a race, you've got a real good chance.
yeah, no, definitely.
Okay, and I know it's early, and excluding reserves, because I know the two reserves we had in, one actually won and the other one was rapid in qualifying, but we're going to
Yeah.
exclude them. Who do you actually consider your rival, from what we saw at Hungary anyway?
Well, I've got a couple. Well, I've got two here. Either yourself, what boy,
Yeah,
or the beginner, for the one of the Mercedes drivers.
yeah,
He's looking pretty quick. He's consistent as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a good few battles could go on between me and you, and also me and him.
Well, that's something we've seen in the five lappers that me and you seem to be exactly the same pace on a lot of
Yeah,
tracks, and Daguna's always in there as well. Like when we've done five lappers with me, you, and Daguna, and we're always within a DRS train. It's us three. Or
yeah,
we can't really break it. Yeah, I'd definitely put you as my rival too. I think if you look at the Hungary qualifying results, we were within a tenth of each other in that as
yeah.
well. So yeah, I completely agree. So how do you see yourself, beating me and Daguna as your rivals? What do you think you need to do to just get that edge on us?
Probably just practice a bit more. If I'm honest, I mean, just do time trials, just practice my like say my 20 lap sort of consistent pace and stuff like that. Just cut out those little mistakes as you mentioned earlier. Yeah, and I think if I keep doing those, keep getting consistent results, that I could easily beat both of you.
Well, yeah. Well, I think I'll have something to say about that,
Yeah.
but yeah, nice one, mate. Thank you for coming. The interview was good, and I'll see you at Monza. No,
Yeah,
not
no
Monza.
bother.
What am I talking about? Australia.
Australia, yeah.
I don't know why I said. I think in my other league I've got Monza next. So, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you at Australia. Good luck. Be careful on turn 12.
Perfect. Well done. I'll try.
It's a tough one. All right then, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
So yeah, that was JC. It was good to get some insight on how he looks at the league, and I think what he was saying was damn correct. Actually, he could definitely reach a top three, and also I believe they could win the constructors too. Him and Stunt put together, they're a really good duo. Both got good pace, and yeah, I think they could do it. So the next interview I did was with Ollie Sutton. He got P6 in the end, but he made a heroic defence for his teammate. He really did hold a lot of the pack back, and his teammate Daguna could get ahead, especially when Daguna had time penalties as well. It really helped his race. Daguna ended up actually getting P1 on track, P2 in the race due to J2 Howell actually catching him up. Fair play to J2 Howell. But here we are anyway. This is Ollie Sutton. Let's see what he has to say. Who is your favourite real-life driver?
So my favourite real life driver has to be Daniel Ricciardo because he really brought me into the sport. I saw him driving actually on my TikTok for you page. It just came up and once I saw it, I literally just fell in love with the sport and I started watching races and I was watching all this stuff and then he was the main one that got me into the sport.
He's quite a beautiful man as well, right? So
yeah, he is.
So is McLaren your favourite team?
Yep, McLaren is my favourite team.
Okay, cool. Your favourite track on our calendar?
Probably the favourite track would definitely have to be Baku because
Okay.
I just love that track. It's really easy to drive and it's quite good for overtaking down those long straights, especially towards the checkered flag and stuff. There's a long straight there and it's definitely useful for overtaking.
Oh yeah, for sure. Baku's very unique because you can really stick with someone around the corners.
Yeah.
If you got the pace, and then you can really even if you 6-7 tenths away from them, you can still catch them by the end of the straight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely going to be a wild one. That is definitely one I'm looking forward to. Actually,
Yeah.
It's always jam packed with action.
Yeah.
Okay, and your least favourite one? I'm going to make a guess first.
Go on, man.
I'm not going to say it in this interview, but I'm going to say it when I edit the video now. Monaco. But okay, now you tell me what your least favourite track is.
So my least favourite track is Monaco.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people don't like Monaco. I think it's too tight. It's very tight and it's very hard to overtake, and it's just a very annoying track. And the hairpin, I hate the hairpin. I struggle getting around that hairpin, but I dislike it a lot. It's my least favourite out of all of them.
Yeah, JC just did an interview with me just before this, and he said the same. It's the corners, the spinning. But what I said to him was it gives the slower people on the grid a chance as well because DNFs and safety cars happen.
Yeah.
A good tyre strategy on there can just win you the race because you can just hold people behind you. Which we actually saw you were very good at Hungary. Actually, you held a lot of people behind you for a long time on Hungary for your teammates. So that leads me on to the next question. Are you happy with the Hungary result?
Definitely. After my qualifying, I think it was P15. Finishing with P6, it was a good result, definitely, especially for my first ever league race. Even though it wasn't technically part of the thing, it was just a thingy race, but definitely a good race. Even though there was a lot of crashes and safety cars and whatnot. But
that was crazy because I looked back I watched the stream and I saw you started in 15. When we did some practice and stuff before that, you never really put the best times in, but then I saw you're all the way up there. I was like, wow, okay, this guy's got something about him. He can definitely do something this season because I think you were a bit of a dark horse in that race, to be honest.
Thank you.
That was impressive, and the way you held everyone behind for your teammate is definitely going to make you a strong pairing for the constructors with that sort of mindset. Because I could see that's what you were doing. You just weren't letting
Yeah,
anyone past because he had old
because
tyres on.
and I knew that my teammate was faster, and I just thought if I could help him out here, then it would benefit us, obviously.
Yeah, it was very. Well, Fernando Alonso did it on in last season, didn't he? Just
Yeah,
reminded me like
yeah,
that, of that, to be honest.
yeah.
Okay, so with that in mind, with the Hungary result in mind, what are your individual goals for this season?
I would say probably at least getting a podium, or a podium or two, hopefully, because there's a lot of great drivers as shown at Hungary. A lot of basically all of the drivers, they're really good drivers and very hard to race against. And obviously, podiums would be really good, and even a win. But I'm aiming for at least a podium or two, hopefully this season.
Oh, mate, yeah, I can see that happening as well. I think you're definitely someone that will benefit from other drivers'
Yeah,
inconveniences, or not, what's the word? Misfortune.
yeah,
You could definitely benefit from other drivers having a bit of misfortune because you seemed quite
yeah,
consistent on the track. You didn't seem to leave the track too much or make too many mistakes. So,
yeah,
yeah, I completely agree. You can get some podiums and, you know, maybe things like places like Monaco, etc., Belgium, where a lot of,
yeah.
maybe even Australia next week, where a lot
Maybe.
of DNFs and mistakes happen. You never know. A win could be around the
Yeah,
corner. You don't know.
exactly.
You don't know. That's what's great about Formula One.
It's an amazing sport, and
Oh,
anything can happen.
oh God, yeah. Anything, honestly. You know, you've had Gasly winning races in the last few
Oh
years,
yeah,
so
yeah. That was
and Ocon actually. Ocon won one too. So
yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay, so that's your individual goals. What about your constructor goals for your team?
Definitely hoping to get towards the top, especially with my teammate. He's a great driver, as shown at Hungary. He's very, very consistent and was getting quite up there. And obviously, with that 3 second time penalty, it did bring him back a bit into P2, but instead of winning the race, but he did do really well. And hopefully, with our teamwork, we can hopefully get maybe for that top three, or maybe just below that.
Oh mate, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Especially that, you know, I'd say in terms of teamwork, you and your teammates showed the most teamwork. And Alfa Romeo, you and
Yeah,
Alfa Romeo really shone in terms of the team play there. Yeah, I think you
thank you.
both. I think you've both got a real. There's a few teams that have got a really good chance, but I think you're one of the top
Yeah,
ones actually. I
thank
think
you.
you'll get consistent points for sure because you
Hopefully,
and Daguna are
hopefully.
both quite consistent. After racing
Yeah,
with you both a little bit, that's what I've got from you.
thank you.
Um,
Hopefully.
yeah, I'm sure you will. Okay, so I know it's early, and excluding the reserves, as we know the reserves were quite quick at Hungary.
Yeah.
But excluding them, putting them aside, who do you consider your rival from what we saw in that race?
So that's quite a spicy question. That, to be honest, it's that's a hard question because especially with all the DNFs and stuff like that, I don't know who I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
who I would. It's a hard question, especially how it's quite early
I
in the
know
season.
you and Jack had a few battles.
Yeah, Jack. We did have a little two tiny battles and stuff like that.
So yeah,
But
I think you two are quite even on pace as well. Looking at your time trials
yeah,
and things. So if I, from the outside, was to place a rivalry with you and someone else, I'd probably say Jack. Um,
yeah.
I think you guys were going to have some battles this season for sure.
Well, hopefully they'll be clean and good overtakes, good battles.
Yeah, for sure,
Hopefully.
for sure, for sure. I'm sure there will be. Well, thank you very much, Ollie, for coming along.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh,
Thank you for interviewing me.
yeah, it's great to have you here, and yeah, I'll see you at Australia. Watch that turn
Yeah,
12.
yeah, I will. Okay, I'll see you in Australia.
Yeah, okay, see you at
All
Australia,
right.
mate. Tuesday.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
This is the part in the show where I'd usually make predictions and constructors' predictions and do some power rankings and stuff like that. But seeing as it's only been an exhibition race so far, I want to give it another race in Australia just to make those predictions. I don't want to jump to any conclusions just yet. So that's it for this week, but there will be more added on next week, of course. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you at Australia.